Coming up on 12 noon, CBS News is next, followed by Sports Scene with Greg Bicover, so stay tuned for that. Got a crash in Virginia Beach, serious crash, I understand, Indian River Road and Elbow Road in Virginia Beach with injuries. Otherwise, no backups or delays, no other bridge openings on the schedule so far. We might still possibly have some on-demand openings of the Berkeley Bridge at the downtown tunnel until the early afternoon, but none on the schedule so far. Sunny skies this afternoon, a high of 48 degrees, mostly clear tonight, low of 31. A mix of sun and clouds with gusty winds tomorrow with a high of 35. Mostly sunny Friday, 48, cloudy with rain on Saturday, 53. And then for Sunday, cloudy skies, scattered showers, and a high of 51 degrees. Coming up at 12 o'clock, it's Sports Scene with Greg Bicover. He's got some prizes to give away, so be sure to tune in and call in and be a part of Sports Scene. Coming up at 1 o'clock, a special edition of the John Frederick Show from the Founders Inn, featuring Governor-elect Terry McAuliffe's speech to the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce. It's all coming up on K-Talk 1650, 12 noon. K-Talk 1650, your source for great talk radio and news in southeastern Virginia, is AM 1650 WHKT Portsmouth.
CBS News, I'm Steve Kathan. With an eye on drug-resistant superbugs that can affect people, the government's looking to voluntarily phase out the use of antibiotics given to animals that can become meat on our table. The FDA's Michael Taylor.
With these changes, there will be fewer approved uses, and the remaining uses will be under tighter control to minimize the impact on resistance.
The CBS News medical analyst Dr. Holly Phillips says there is concern about these superbugs.
These are bacteria that are resistant to every single antibiotic we have available to us and every single antibiotic on the market. When these bacteria infect humans, it can create a life-threatening situation.
Proposed as part of all this, antibiotics sold over the counter in large quantities to farmers will need prescriptions from veterinarians. Drug companies have 3 months to tell the government whether they'll voluntarily go along. A major drug maker says it's reached an impasse with the FDA over a drug that boosts sexual desire in women. Federal officials question the risk-to-benefit ratio for the drug, which is supposed to increase libido, acting on brain chemicals. Side effects include fatigue, dizziness, and nausea. The government says 365,000 people signed up for Obamacare as of the end of November, less than one-third of the goal. Health Secretary Sebelius tells Congress she's asked the department's Inspector General to investigate the flawed rollout and is creating a new position.
We'll instruct this officer to look at IT and contracting management practices, starting with healthcare.gov, and the risk factors that impeded a successful launch.
The Supreme Court is giving prosecutors a weapon to counter a defendant's claim that a crime was influenced by brain damage linked to drug use. Here's CBS's Barry Bagnano.
The justices are allowing them to use court-ordered mental evaluations against defendants who claim their judgment was impacted by drug use. In this case from Kansas, a convicted murderer argued his Fifth Amendment protection against self-incrimination was violated. He argued that because he didn't agree to the exam, it couldn't be used against him in court.
The U.S. has stopped sending non-lethal aid to rebels in Syria. CBS's Cammie McCormick has more from Washington.
The U.S. suspended the aid after the more extremist Islamic Front seized bases belonging to the Free Syrian Army along the northwestern border with Turkey Friday. The U.S. is now trying to track what equipment and supplies it provided. The suspension does not affect humanitarian aid, only the assistance to opposition fighters.
At Time magazine, when considering Person of the Year, it came down to two: Pope Francis, who was selected, and NSA leaker Edward Snowden.
It was an incredibly difficult choice to make. You have two people who both were not on anybody's radar last year, who have really been transformative in their impacts on the world this year.
Times Washington Bureau Chief Michael Shearer says Pope Francis has changed perceptions of the Catholic Church. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 75 points, NASDAQ off 29. This is CBS News.
Buying a diamond? Listen carefully. Go to EmpireDiamond.com and get the lowest price quote in the market for GIA certified diamonds. Since 1931, no gimmicks. Better Business Bureau highest rating, 60-day money-back guarantee, and all settings at wholesale. Find out what the buzz is all about. Visit us in the Empire State Building or just call 800-SAVE-HALF or visit EmpireDiamond.com. Get the finest for less. 1-800-SAVE-HALF or EmpireDiamond.com.
Give a garden. You want to give one special gift to a runner, biker, golfer, or sailor, a pilot, pet lover, or outdoor explorer. Give a Garmin and get thank you. Give a Garmin. Give a
Nominations for the Screen Actors Guild Awards are out. Here's CBS's Steve Futterman.
The highly acclaimed drama 12 Years a Slave tops the list with 4 nominations.
I was born a free man.
It's up for the top SAG Award, Outstanding Cast in a Motion Picture. Another nominee in that category, Lee Daniels, The Butler.
You know he got that job himself. The White House called him. He didn't call the White House.
Oprah Winfrey, who stars in the film, is a nominee for Best Supporting Actress. Cate Blanchett is a nominee for Best Lead Actress for Blue Jasmine.
Anxiety, nightmares, and a nervous breakdown. There's only so many traumas a person can withstand.
Another Best Actress nominee, Sandra Bullock, for Gravity.
Nothing. I see nothing.
Steve Futterman, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A hearing-impaired group says the man who handled sign language interpretation during the Mandela eulogies by President Obama and others at yesterday's memorial service was a fake. They say he made up signs. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Wearing glasses with new Crizal no-glare lenses can make a big difference in your vision because neither scratching desert sands nor the waves of a raging river can keep your lenses from giving you the clearest vision possible. For superior scratch, water, dust, glare, and smudge resistance, choose Crizal. And now Crizal has an ESPF of 25 to protect your eyes from the damaging rays of the sun. Crizal. Live life in the clear. Ask for them at your eye care professional or learn more at Crizal.com.
Give a darling. You want to give one special gift to a runner, biker, golfer, or sailor, a pilot, car driver, or outdoor explorer. Give a Garmin and get thank you. Give a Garmin. Give a Garmin. Find something fun for everyone. Garmin.com. Garmin.com.
From Chesapeake, Virginia, 1650 AM WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick and at GJBTV.com. Now here is Greg Bickaveris.
And thank you very much, Ken Johnson. Glad you're with us right here on this December 11th, 2013. Greg Bickaveris right here on 1650 News Talk, your home for UNC football, home of Glenn Beck, Laura Ingram. Excellent talk radio, CBS News at the top of the hour. This is Sports Scene, a show I've hosted for several years. Don't forget sports highlights on nnpstv.com. As always, I want to say thank you to our troops, our sponsors, and our listeners. You guys make it happen every single day. Happy holidays to everybody. Find me on Twitter at Greg Bick, at GJBTV, and of course on Facebook at Greg Bickaveris. Of course, and for more, log on to nnpstv.com and 1650whkt.com. Sports Scene is an interview show, as is Sports Highlights, and we have great guests today. But before we talk about the guests today, I want to thank last week's guests, Mick Mixon, the voice of the Carolina Panthers, Sonny Dirt from the Daily Press, and Kim Combs in our Business Spotlight from Chick-fil-A. Today's guests are Dr. Wood Selig, the Old Dominion Athletic Director, Norm Wood from the Daily Press, and Janelle Birchfield from the Virginia Stage Company, talking about the Christmas Carol going on at the end of the hour. Don't forget, save these phone numbers, 454-1650. That's 454-1650. We'll be giving away prize packs a little bit later after the interview with Dr. Wood Selig. And, of course, don't forget Dennis Prager's on every weekday from 12 to 3. I'm on every Wednesday from 12 to 1 right here on 1650 WHKT, working with Devontae here and Ken Johnson. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages with our first guest right here on 1650.
Attention gun enthusiasts. Your complete store for guns is at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Tom and the staff will assist you with tactical guns, custom AR builds, and they handle service and repair. Battlefield Guns and Ammo has specials, and they buy, sell, trade, consign, and do FFL transfers, and always look out for the military and the police. Log on to BattlefieldGunshop.com and call 410-7720. Open Monday through Saturday, this is your store for guns, ammo, and accessories. Battlefield Guns and Ammo in Chesapeake.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet.
Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Now back to Sports Scene on 1650 AM WHKT.
All right, thank you very much, Ken Johnson. Glad you're with us on this beautiful December 11th, 2013, 2 weeks before Christmas. Greg Bicoveris, glad you're with us right here on 1650 WHKT. Don't forget tunein.com and plenty of prizes as well right here. Our guest again, Dr. Wood Selig, Norm Wood, Janelle Birchfield, right here on Sports Scene, an interview show right here on 1650. Let's welcome our guest right here, Dr. Wood Selig, Athletic Director at Old Dominion. I've had him on Sports Scene in the past and other stations I work for. Dr. Selig, always a pleasure, and thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
Hey, good to have you. Good to be back with you there, Greg. How are you doing?
Very at a reasonable hour, too, during the 12 o'clock hour, and a very convenient hour.
I like this much better, much more suitable for the schedule.
Oh, absolutely. And, of course, we've talked to you on the radio before in the past on other stations as well. But let's talk about so far what's going on with Old Dominion this year. And, of course, let's recap football. Excellent football season, 8-4. And, of course, still only year 5. Bobby Wilder and staff continue to get the things done.
Yeah, very, very pleased with the progress of ODU football. We've sold every game out that we've ever held here at Foreman Field, SB Ballard Stadium. I think that's 35 consecutive games. Finished 8-4 this year with a win over an FBS program. It was our first ever win over a 1A opponent, and I think we matched up very well with schools from the Big East and the ACC. So very pleased with where we are. Next year, we'll have 6 home games, 6 road games, and we'll have a full Conference USA schedule. We'll play 4 home games, 4 away games within Conference USA. We'll have Eastern Michigan at home. We'll go to North Carolina State. So that will be another challenge for us to go to North Carolina State and an ACC school. And then we'll go to Vanderbilt on November 1, a member of the SEC, and we'll have Hampton here at home. So that's the schedule, very attractive schedule for football, and we will be eligible for the Conference USA Championship, even though we won't be eligible to play in a bowl game next year in 2014. ODU football is going to be allowed to compete for a Conference USA Championship. So every game that we play of the 8 Conference USA regular season games will count and have meaning for our chances for a Conference USA Championship next fall.
And, of course, 2012, you were in the postseason in 1AA. And, of course, how did the team react to that this year? Because they would have gone to a bowl at 8-4, obviously, and then next year as well, being idle like that.
Yeah, we were definitely a FCS or a 1AA playoff caliber team.
Sure.
We counted as a 1AA opponent all year. But because we offered a few more scholarships than the allowable 63 at the 1AA level, we were declared ineligible for the 1AA playoffs. So I think our student athletes responded extremely well and took each game as, the individual challenge, knowing that, the goal was let's compete, let's make a name nationally for Old Dominion football. And let's do as the best we can, knowing that there's nothing after the end of the regular season. But finishing 8-4, another highly successful year for ODU football. Very, very proud, very pleased with the progress and the transition that Coach Wilder and his staff are leading us through.
This is Sports Scene right here on your CBS News affiliate in Hampton Roads, 1650 News Talk right here, talking to Dr. Wood Selig. Greg Bicoveris, glad you're with us right here on 1650 AM and tunein.com anywhere in the world as well. Talk about processing, Wood. It seemed like just yesterday you and Mr. Teague, who was then at VCU, now at Minnesota, were in Bristol trying to negotiate a deal with ESPN, and that you have a brand new basketball coach, really Lily Karen Barefoot still fairly new herself. The football team moved to a Conference USA. I mean, talk about processing. Do you and your wife kind of laugh sometimes when you're out to dinner? Wow, a lot has changed since you took over several years ago.
It'd be nice to have time to go out to dinner, first of all. That would be step one. But no, it's been a whirlwind. It's been really an unbelievable experience. I started here, following Jim Jarrett. Dr. Jarrett had been the athletic director at Old Dominion for 40 years. It's not a record, but it's one of the longest standing tenures for athletic directors at the Division I level. So he left the program in great shape monetarily. We had a very strong budget. We had a good carry forward and reserve balance, terrific facilities, great group of coaches and administrators. So this program was positioned for success, positioned to win. And then in the 4 years that I've been here, we've been able to take advantage of the changing landscape in college athletics, able to take advantage of conference affiliation with Conference USA, transitioning football to the highest level, FBS, making ODU one of only 3 schools in the Commonwealth of Virginia to play at that level, Virginia, Virginia Tech, and Old Dominion. So I think that's a great branding opportunity for our institution. And then certainly the progress that we've made recently with the declaration that we will build a new football stadium on campus. We're trying to complete the fundraising for a brand new basketball practice facility that will be attached and adjacent to the Ted Constance Center, and then trying to address Title IX additions for women's opportunities. Those items have certainly kept everyone busy around ODU athletics, and we're hitting all-time highs with our fundraising. We've exceeded over 3,000 donors to our annual fundraising efforts, and we're pushing $3.75 million annually in gifts to support our scholarship bill, which is $8 million for the 450 student athletes who represent ODU on our athletic venues, 9 men and 9 women's programs. So it's been incredibly fun and incredibly rewarding, and it's nice to be someplace where you know what you're doing is making a difference, having an impact, a substantial impact, a positive impact, not only on current athletes, but also on future athletes and the future of the entire institution.
Talking to Dr. Wood Selig right here on Sports Scene on 1650 AM News Talk. Greg Bickaveris, glad you're with us till 1 o'clock. Then CBS News at the top of the hour. You're home for Glenn Beck and Laura Ingram right here in Hampton Roads. And a few questions, too. Do you think in retrospect, though, Wood, you were a year away from playing teams like Maryland? And, of course, you did play Pitt, very competitive. The UNC game, I know you took a lot of flack for that. I got to admit, and I have the utmost respect for Bobby, that I've never heard of that before until this year, that you can go on the road and really tell a game that's live TV on the road in the middle of the game to change something like that. I think a lot of fans react to that, but really it's happened before, but at the same time it seemed like it was new to a lot of fans, and especially it was all over social media.
Yeah, that was really you were supposed to play North Carolina on October 12th. And at their request, they wanted that game at the end of the season to move some other things around. And for us, that was an unfortunate, the wrong game at the wrong time. It'd been a long year with just 63 scholarship players, maybe a few more, but a thin roster. And, the whole key to going to FBS with success is you need to recruit bigger, faster, stronger. And the overwhelming majority of our athletes have been recruited to play at the FCS level, not the FBS level. So depth and size and speed, as well as the culmination of a grueling 11-game schedule, all came into play there at the end of the year. So it's just a tough transition. I think next year is going to be even more challenging than this year for our program, because this year we were able to play 7 FCS or 1AA opponents and 5 FBS or 1A opponents. Next year, there's no room. We can't do that. We can't bring in a steady diet of 1AA teams. We have to play, we're going to play 11 FBS opponents and only one 1AA opponent in Hampton University. So every week we're going to be lining up against another FBS school who they've been established, they have depth, they've been recruiting at that level for many, many years. So next year, for us to have a successful season, I think is going to be even more of a challenge than it was this year, given the nature of what our schedule will be in the fall of 2014.
But overall, an A+. I mean, work in progress, only 5 years into the football program after being idle for so many decades. A+ to you, and of course, to Bobby Wilder. Now let's switch gears a little bit to basketball. I have the utmost respect for Coach Jones as a kid growing up. I went to George Mason, but we went to a lot of UVA football and basketball, and him and Jeff Lamp and the ACC put TV on the map in the Mid-Atlantic. I thought you made an A1 hire there. A lot of people will criticize that. I think they realize they were wrong, that Coach Jones is off to an excellent start, and he's bringing that brand too. And when I interviewed him back on Sports Scene in the summer, I also had a chance to do a TV interview with him in his office back as well that aired in Newport News on nnpstv.com in September, still archived there. I said, Jeff, you bring the ACC brand. People, the Virginia alumni here in Hampton Roads is strong, so you're getting the Old Dominion alumni, the Old Dominion fans, the students, the sponsors, as well as the UVA people coming to the Constant Center. That's a win-win situation, Wood.
I tell you, Jeff's been a home run. Admittedly, the media perhaps were a little overboard in some of their criticism for that hire, but Jeff has done nothing but hit all the right notes since the day we hired him in early April. From his establishing a legitimate staff, a terrific staff of assistant coaches, he's been great throughout the local market. He's hitting the recruiting trail with energy and enthusiasm, running a first-class program. He's seen it at the highest level. He's played in Final Fours. He's coached in the ACC, coached in the Elite Eight, 6 out of his 8 years at UVA, postseason, 5 of those 6 NCAA. Left American University as the all-time winningest coach in American University history. They had Gary Williams and a few other good coaches along the way as well. Jeff is just your consummate basketball coach. Mm-hmm. Happy to live in the gym, whether it's teaching, whether it's recruiting, evaluating. I think he's going to be here for the rest of his career. So he's going to start to sink roots and build a program, not a quick hit program, but build a program from the ground floor up, and it's going to be a program that this community can take pride in and know we'll be doing things the right way. We're going to graduate our student athletes. We're going to play great defense. We're going to play hard. We're going to run when we can. It's going to be a fun brand of basketball to watch. And with his coaching ability, he's going to have us in the majority of the games that we will be playing in. And as Fran Fraschilla, when we were making the hire, he's been around coaching and on ESPN for most of his professional career. And he said, look, a really good coach these days can be the difference in 3 to 5 wins a year just because of the way they game plan, the way they teach, the strategy. And if you think about 3 to 5 wins a year difference, that's the difference sometimes of getting into the NCAA versus, say, the NIT, or even making postseason play at all. So I feel really good about Coach Jones and what he will be able to accomplish here at ODU. And I feel very fortunate that we were able to attract someone with his background and his skill set and his integrity.
Final couple questions for Dr. Wood Selig. This is Sports Scene on 1650 AM News Talk, 1650. Greg Bicoveris with you, Ken Johnson, Devontae right here in the studio, live right here on this December 11th. Don't forget CBS News at the top of the hour and some prizes coming up in just a few moments from holiday prizes here. Always a great time of the year for everybody. A couple more questions, too. It's all about fundraising today, Wood, no matter what type of business. Of course, this is during the business hours here. This show is. And, of course, fundraising is big. And I know you're really excited about all the new propositions and arenas going on and the fundraising for a new stadium.
Yes, we're excited. For starters, the biggest capital project that we're currently involved with is our basketball practice facility, and we have over $5 million in signed pledges and $1.5 million that's out there in requests or verbal commitments. Our goal is $8 million. So with a couple more million, we're going to be in great shape to get that project off the ground. And you think about top 25 basketball programs, men and women, one thing they all have in common is they have outstanding facilities. With the Ted Constant Center, we've got one of the best basketball competition venues in the country. And then when we build the practice facility adjacent to the Ted Constant Center, I think we'll have one of the best basketball complexes, practice and game competition in the country. So that's the mark of a top 25 program, a mark of commitment. When you bring student athletes on campus, prospects, and they see those type of facilities, all that does is just scream that you are committed to success. You're committed to excellence. So really, really happy about that project. We need to have a little bit more fundraising success to turn that into reality. The football stadium, we'll be doing some analysis this summer. We know it's going to be on the waterfront, on the Elizabeth River, in the heart of our campus. I think that's going to be exciting for the university community and for the local community. And we don't know exactly how many seats. We're looking at 28 to 30,000 seats. We're not sure what the cost associated with this construction project will be, but we'll start some market research and some analysis this summer to determine, what's the ideal number of club seats to build? What's the number of suites to build? How about the chairback midfield seats? What is the demand? What's the price elasticity for these various stadium locations? Yeah. So we'll start to narrow in and define what the scope of a new football stadium might be for ODU. And our goal is to, get it on the tracks as quickly as we can. But we have certain other things that need to accomplish to make that happen. The site of the football stadium is the current site of about 700 beds for on-campus housing. So we need to rebuild on-campus housing situation to accommodate those 700 beds. We need some dining options as well. So there are a few dominoes that need to happen first before we can really turn our focus and attention toward the football stadium. But there's a lot that can be done while those other projects are also being taken care of.
Sure, because it's all about academics, athletics, and activities. We're final moments here with Dr. Wood Selig as well. And of course, safety, the student safety overall, because you are in the academic field. And, of course, safety for any kid on or off campus is the utmost importance there by Old Dominion or anywhere, whether they're a commuter or living in the dorms as well. And
hello?
Is Wood there? Because we're losing connection there with Wood. Wood, are you there? Looks like we lost connection with him.
He may have lost.
Okay, we're wrapping up the final few questions there with Dr. Selig right there. But, of course, student safety is always so important. I want to thank him so generously for donating some of his time right here on the radio station today. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet.
Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Attention gun enthusiasts, your complete store for guns is at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Tom and the staff will assist you with tactical guns, custom AR builds, and they handle service and repair. Battlefield Guns and Ammo has specials, and they buy, sell, trade, consign, and do FFL transfers, and always look out for the military and the police. Log on to BattlefieldGunshop.com and call 410-7720. Open Monday through Saturday, this is your store for guns, ammo, and accessories. Battlefield Guns and Ammo in Chesapeake.
Let's get back to Greg Bigoveris and Sports Scene on 1650 WHKT.
All right, Greg Pickaveras, glad you're with us right here on 1650 AM News Talk. I want to thank Dr. Wood Selig as well, because he is out of town, and sometimes cell phones can do that, but overall, excellent interview right there from the Old Dominion Athletic Director right there as well. So in just a few moments right here, we're going to get to sports scene highlights right here as well, right here on 1650 AM News Talk. Greg Pickaveras, don't forget Norm Wood will join us a little bit later. Janelle Birchfield will have some prizes as well. I'll be announcing the phone number in just a second right here. Now let's get to the opening right here of Sports Scene Highlights.
It's now time for Greg's Highlights on Sports Scene, presented by DJBTV.com Marketplace Sponsors Page.
All right, thank you very much, Ken Johnson. Here they are real quick before CBS News. The Vikings-Ravens game was as good as it gets in the fourth quarter. Orange, Sugar Bowl, and BCS final games all look really good. Redskins, who fell to the Chiefs last week, I think, personally, Shanahan, RG3 deserve another year. It's not their fault. Why is he sitting on the bench? Doesn't make sense. There's 3 games left. The kid's in his 20s. Give him a break. Quarterbacks, who's sizzling right now. Broncos, Seahawks, 49ers, who's fading, the Falcons and the Texans. As, of course, live sporting events, football, HD TV, food during the holidays, nothing like it during the winter, and 1650 AM News Talk for Sports Scene. Congratulations to Joe Torre, Bobby Cox, and Tony La Russa for making the Hall of Fame in baseball. All right, Ken Johnson, CBS News, and more prizes and guests after this.
Absolutely, and you're listening to Sports Scene on K-Talk 1650 with Greg Pickaveras, and as he mentioned, there's some things to give away, so stay tuned. Got some goodies for you. Don't go anywhere. We've got a James River Bridge opening scheduled for 6:30 this evening. Clear that disabled vehicle 264 westbound at Trashmore, Virginia Beach. Still working that crash, Indian River Road and Elbow Road in Virginia Beach. No other bridge openings, no backups or delays right now on the interstate, so you got a clear sailing just about everywhere. Sunny skies this afternoon, 48 for the high, mostly clear tonight, 31 for the low. A mix of sun and clouds tomorrow with gusty winds, and the temperature, the high tomorrow, not much warmer than the low tonight, 35 degrees. Mostly sunny for Friday, rain on Saturday, 53, and then Sunday, some scattered showers and a high of 51 degrees. CBS News is next with an update on K-Talk 1650, followed by more of Sports Scene with Greg Pickaveras right here on K-Talk 1650. It's 12:31.
CBS News Update. I'm Steve Kathan. The FDA says it's going to ask drug companies to voluntarily stop marketing antibiotics for use in animals processed for meat.
The purpose here being to preserve the effectiveness of these antibiotics for human health purposes.
Michael Taylor of the FDA says the concern is limiting antibiotic-resistant diseases in people, what have become known as superbugs.
It's a big shift from the current situation in which animal producers now can go to the local feed store and buy these products over the counter, and there's no veterinary medical oversight at all.
Now, under the plan, farmers would need prescriptions from a vet to get those drugs. CBS News health correspondent Dr. Holly Phillips.
About 2/3 or more of all antibiotics used are actually used in animals and livestock. So we can make a huge dent in how much is out there by limiting our use in animals.
Drug companies have 3 months to decide if they'll go along. CBS News Update. I'm Steve Kathan.
All right, and welcome back right here to 1650 AM News Talk. Greg Pickaveras right here for Sports Scene. I want to thank again Dr. Wood Selig on the road for joining us right here, the Old Dominion Athletic Director. And folks, let me tell you this. I know a lot of y'all listen to News Talk, and talk radio is pretty much, no matter what station you go to around the country, it's sports, news, weather, everything. It's information. And of course, my interviews are not hardcore sports stuff. I do a lot of like what personality interviews can be, business, sports, newsmakers. I have a lot more interest besides sports. I know you guys do as well. So we try to make it a personality type interview. We'll interview anybody that's interesting that can add something to the radio station. So we look forward to even more engaging interviews. I've been doing sports highlights in Newport News since 1992, and that's all about guests. I've never ever learned anything talking by myself. I've always learned from the fans, the listeners, and the guests as well. So to thank the guests today and the listeners as well, we got 2 prize packs. The first 2 callers will get the prize packs. One is a gift certificate from the Egg Bistro, and also Admirals tickets, good for any game this year, and a Chick-fil-A sandwich pack. And the other caller will get Admirals tickets as well as Chick-fil-A and a $20 coupon from Spaghetti Eddie. So the first 2 callers will get the prize packs. Ken Johnson will take the information. Call right now. Save some time and money. 454-1650. That's 454-1650. The first 2 callers will get prize packs courtesy right here of the Admirals, the Egg Bistro, Spaghetti Eddie's, and Chick-fil-A. All you have to do is dial the number 454-1650, and the prize packs are yours. Devontae and Ken assisting with them. Come by the radio station and pick them up, and they will be your prize packs. Give them away to your family, your friends, yourself. It's great to save money during the holidays, and of course, everybody likes nice prizes. So again, thank our sponsors, the Admirals, Spaghetti Eddie's, the Egg Bistro, and Chick-fil-A, and you can use these coupons pretty much anywhere. So we're going to get our callers as well right here on the information as well. Ken, if they want to come on the air, they can come on the air too and say something as well that they're more than welcome to. That's fine. I want to thank them at 454-1650 for calling in, and Ken will announce the prize winners in just a few moments right here. Don't forget Norm Wood will join us as well from the Daily Press, dailypress.com, as well as Janelle Birchfield as well. For more, log on to gjbtv.com, Sponsors Place Market page. Also want to thank Crown's Fried Chicken, delicious fried chicken, burgers, fish sandwiches, sides, and much more. Call 595-0055, 111 Jefferson Avenue in Newport News. And also Lily's Fashions. She does fashion design and consulting, nail care, pedicures, hair care, skin care, massage. And I had one recently. They're the best right there at 3356 Western Branch Boulevard. Give her a call at 483-8111. One on Wear Care Salon, Day Spa right there. They do massage as well as skin care, hair care. Go by them and say hello to Lily at 483-8111 and 3356 Western Branch Boulevard. Ken, who were the 2 prize winners?
We got Hank in Chesapeake and Rob in Hampton, and Hank in Chesapeake would like to talk to you.
All right, very good. All right, what's up, Hank?
Hey, Greg, what's going on?
Good, my friend. Hey, aren't you glad to listen to Sports Scene during a convenient hour during the day when you can spend time with your family at night?
You know what, Greg? It wouldn't matter what time your show was on, man. I'm going to be there for you.
You're the man. You're the man. Congratulations. You get one of the prize packs. And in fact, I know the radio station is not too far from where you live at, so it's very, very convenient, my friend. And what are your thoughts, too? I got to get your opinion as a Cowboy fan about the whole Redskins situation.
Well, I read a lot of Redskin fans, and they are all on Shanahan, which, I mean, you know, it's almost like the player's never going to be wrong. But let's go back to when RG3 initially hurt his knee against the Ravens. He sat out one game. Cousins played, threw for 300 yards, went on through the season, made the playoffs. Griffin plays against Seattle, and you know, they get a 14-0 lead, and then you hear Skins fans say that's when Shanahan should have took Griffin out. My response to that is, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. There was no way that Griffin, one, was going to allow himself to be pulled out of the game, much like Kobe Bryant. You're not going to bench Kobe Bryant. Two, all you heard all summer long from Skins fans was Griffin was going to be back 100%, even though everybody knows that it takes at least a year to recover from that type of injury, and then people pointed to Adrian Peterson.
Sure.
Adrian Peterson is superhuman. He is not of this world. Griffin, with the Adidas campaign, all in for game one, all I heard all summer was Skins fans talking about, you might as well put this Lombardi trophy on Daniel Snyder's front doorstep. And you know what? This has been, even if my Cowboys don't make the playoffs, this has been one of the most satisfying years as a Cowboys fan I can remember.
Very good. Well, Hank, your prize will be here at the radio station. You know where to go to, my friend. We look forward to talking to you very soon right here on Sports Scene on 1650 AM. And give us your Twitter handle.
At 757Hank.
Very good. All right, Hank, have a great day.
You too, Greg. Thanks, man.
Thank you. All right, right there. The caller's calling in. I want to thank, again, Ken said it was Rob and Hank for calling in for the prize winners. Stay tuned. We'll have Norm Wood from the Daily Press after these messages right here on 1650 AM News Talk.
Attention gun enthusiasts, your complete store for guns is at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Tom and the staff will assist you with tactical guns, custom AR builds, and they handle service and repair. Battlefield Guns and Ammo has specials, and they buy, sell, trade, consign, and do FFL transfers, and always look out for the military and the police. Log on to BattlefieldGunshop.com and call 410-7720. Open Monday through Saturday, this is your store for guns, ammo, and accessories. Battlefield Guns and Ammo in Chesapeake.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet.
Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Now back to Sports Scene on 1650 AM WHKT.
All right, and welcome back right here to Sports Scene. With congratulations again to Hank and Rob for the 2 prize pack winners. Ken will be calling you after 1 o'clock to come by the radio station here off of Jolliffe Road right here in Chesapeake, right here as well. So the prize will be available after 1 o'clock today right here at 1650 AM WHKT. It's, in fact, 2202 Jolliffe Road in Chesapeake, right here in the Western Branch area off of exit 11A off the interstate. And, of course, the phone number for the prize winners is 488-1010 if you have any questions about directions as well. Also want to thank Crown's Fried Chicken, Silver Eagle Coins, as well as SilverEagleCoinsVA.com, and, of course, Lily's Fashions and 101 Care Salon at 3356 Western Branch Boulevard. Great place to get holiday gift certificates. Want to thank as well Dr. Wood Seelig for joining me, and don't forget sports highlights on NNPSTV.com. And again, folks, my interviews are pretty much kind of like the CNN of interviews, not just hardcore sports, but newsmakers, could be elected officials, sports people. I cater to everyone. This is an all-inclusive show. Sports is not number one. It's just part of the pie as well. A big part of the pie of the Daily Press since the 1990s, and dailypress.com. Norm Wood went to Georgia, went to Hampton Roads Academy, a writer. He's written columns there, covers UVA and Virginia Tech. Norm Wood, welcome to 1650 AM WHKT.
Hey, Greg. How you doing, man?
Good, my friend. Are you back from Blacksburg? What's the schedule like with Norm Wood right now?
No, yeah, I am. I'm back from Blacksburg after being out there for my annual fall tour. I spend the fall months out in Blacksburg, and now I'm back, and I actually was over at Oscar Smith High in Chesapeake for the Andrew Brown presentation as Gatorade National High School Football Player of the Year today. So just leaving that right now.
Well, let's talk about UVA and Virginia Tech. Of course, Virginia Tech is going to a bowl. They're going to be taking on UCLA. Of course, had a pretty good record number-wise, but 8-4. But you look at a lot of the wins early on, Norm, by the skin of their teeth. They really showed their vulnerability as the year went on. Wasn't a typical year. Either was last year for Virginia Tech. Their AD is stepping down for health reasons. What is the status right now with Virginia Tech's program?
Yeah, it's an interesting time. You're right. It is a bit of a time of transition, in particular with the coaching staff going through some turnover. This past January with new offensive coordinator and a few new offensive assistants, and they've sort of gotten those guys entrenched now. Though they're still certainly going through some growing pains as far as installing the system, as you kind of alluded to, with the struggles that they went through early in the season. It's winning some games close, and then losing 3 of their last 5. Though they did get their 10th straight win against Virginia to wrap up the regular season. And then, like you said, with Weaver stepping down, it's a time when I think there's some uncertainty as far as the future of some guys, and they're trying to figure out where they're headed direction wise. And you got to hire an athletic director, and the outgoing president. They just hired a new president at that university. So there's a lot of synergy that needs to be sort of reconnected. And the outgoing President Steger, mentioned that one of the primary things that he would say about the athletic program at Tech is that it's essential for good relations to be sort of paramount between the athletic director and the president if they continue to spend time in the black, which they are one of the 15, 20 athletic programs in the country that is consistently in the black every year. So, which strikes some people as a little bit of a surprise. But, as far as the football program is concerned, Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator, he's got some interest from Connecticut here since the season has ended. He's not terribly interested in that job. And he's always set his sights a little higher, so I would suspect, barring a surprise, that Foster is back. Though some dominoes may continue to fall here, coaching-wise, and that will help, certainly. And they've got some transition at the quarterback spot next year too, with Logan Thomas leaving. So they've got a lot of changes coming.
Yeah, talking to Norm Wood for the Daily Press, dailypress.com. Greg Bicoveris is the sports scene. For more, go to Greg Bick on Twitter, GJB TV on Twitter, Sports Highlight Twitter. Norm, go ahead and give us your Twitter handle.
Oh, it's very simple, at Norm Wood, NORMWOOD.
Very good. Norm, a few more questions for you as well, too. Then you look at the other perspective, Virginia, 2-10. And before we go back to Tech, you see Mack Brown, nothing's official yet, but it looks like he's going to be stepping down, the former North Carolina coach at Texas. Here he goes. He has a winning record, had some pretty significant wins during the year. And Beamer's been the head coach of Virginia Tech since 1987. It seems like he's immune to even any sense of mediocrity. He had some lean years early on, but now it's pretty much his baby now with the new president, of course, new AD. He's pretty much the kingpin there at Tech, has been for a long time. Of course, the moneymaker they draw. Then you look at the other hand, Virginia. Oh my God, 2-10. They beat VMI. They beat VMI. When you and I talked about this in the summer on Sports Scene as well, they beat VMI. They probably would never have beaten BYU toward the end of the year. And we give them a pass. But my question is, Little Page and Oliver need to be looked at. If this is any other school besides Virginia, London would have been gone. And I'm going to say it too, Norm. I'm not going to be nice anymore about it. He is over his head as a Division I ACC head football coach. When you have 30,000 people waiting there for a game in the third and fourth quarters, that affects sponsorships, donors, and everything. If this is Ohio State or Michigan, he would have been gone.
Yeah, well, you're right, and the expectation levels, obviously, and that's what you're getting at. It clearly is, places like Ohio State and Michigan, places like that are higher as far as the
Georgia too,
program.
Georgia and Tennessee,
and Georgia as well. You're right, and frankly, I'm not of the thinking. I'm like you. I mean, I'm not of the thinking that 45, 50,000 people, as far as attendance is concerned, in Scott Stadium is acceptable. It's totally unacceptable. And,
sure.
If you just look at ticket sales alone, just ticket sales, we're not talking about concessions, we're just talking about the price on the ticket. They're losing about $5 million in ticket sales this year with empty seats. That's a lot, man. Let's make no mistake about it. It's hard to sustain, especially if you have 2 or 3 years of that, which they're working on now. They're working on 2 or 3 years of empty seats in that sort of regard. And to me, granted, I get the fact they're loyal to London. He's gotten every opportunity that he's going to that could possibly be afforded to him. They went the route of asking him to change some things around on the staff last year, and he did that both on offense and defense. This year, I got to think this is the last straw. I mean, there's no excuse after this. If you go 2-10, or somewhere in that regard, 4-8 like they did last year, that's not acceptable. I mean, to me, I think the big question is what is acceptable? What gets him back for a 2015 season? We haven't gotten an answer for that. Don't know if we will get an answer, but I got to think that at least 6-6, getting to a bowl, showing some showing an upward trend and some real progress, especially with the recruiting class they have coming in. And I get it. I know with Quinn Blanding from Virginia Beach and Andrew Brown from Chesapeake, these are top players in the country at their respective positions, safety and defensive tackle as far as the recruiting analysts are concerned. But they're still going to be freshmen. Doesn't matter. They're going to have to play, and they're going to have to perform because the clock is ticking along.
And to me, it doesn't matter. He can. We all know he can recruit, but you don't see Beamer in the established program at Virginia Tech. All this hype during the summer, and shame on the Redskins too. I used to work for the radio station for 6.5 years, and they took good care of me here locally. I got to say that. But from a sports perspective, all this hype about Richmond and the training camp and so forth, what did it mean? The Redskins are 3-10 right now. Virginia went 2-10. And I'm sorry, when Sonny Randall has more wins than Mike London in one of the years he was there, that's not good. My mom taught Mike London, but Sonny Randall is a better coach than Mike London. Dick Beswick, I think he beat your alma mater one year, didn't he, Norm?
Sure did.
He is a better coach than Mike London. I like Mike London. He's a perfect PR guy. He's like Barry Parkhill, who should, in my opinion, got wrongfully gone from William & Mary. But some people are not meant to be head coaches, and when it's all about big-time money, and we heard Wood Selick talk about fundraising, it's hard to fundraise when you're at empty seats, when the weather is not that bad in Charlottesville in the fall.
I got to tell you, man, just with the way things have turned out in these 4 seasons with Mike, he must be an unbelievable salesman to continue to sell that program to kids and parents and that kind of thing, because once they get there, they certainly haven't done an awful lot. And you mentioned, yes, he has won a national championship when he was at Richmond, but he did it with other guys' players. He's not, he did it with Clawson's players. Mm-hmm. So it's not, there's very little to show that Mike actually can get it done as a coach to this point. He's going to get another opportunity. But he is an incredible salesman. Maybe his calling is as a coordinator, recruiting coordinator, defensive coordinator, defensive line coach. He's excelled in those areas before, but putting the big whistle on has not worked out for him.
He might want to go back to being in the police profession. Might be better off doing what he did before in the past. I'm serious. He just doesn't impress me. It doesn't impress me as an X and O's coach. It wouldn't last, like I said, at an SEC school like this, or look at Vanderbilt. Look what Franklin's done as an former assistant at Maryland to Vanderbilt. Look at this. Nobody's talked about this. Look what Auburn's done, Norm. And nobody's talking about these seniors won national championships as freshmen in 2010 with Cam Newton. Cam Newton never made no excuses. Auburn's never made no excuses, but we hear a lot of excuses. And especially in the days of Instagram and Facebook, you can put the pictures right up there with the attendance right there on the spot. And your final thoughts as well about the basketball program in Virginia.
Well, that week, man, what can you say? And I was there for that Wisconsin game this past week. And that was one of the uglier basketball games I think I've ever seen at any level. Unbelievable offensive ineptitude by both teams, especially Virginia, shooting 23%. And then they compound the issue by going up to Tony Bennett's alma mater at Green Bay and losing that game to a good Green Bay team. Granted, of course, I guess Green Bay turned around and lost to Eastern Michigan this weekend, so you got to question them too. But they should be pretty decent. Bad week. They do not have the marquee non-conference win that they had hoped for, and they lost to VCU at home, obviously, which was a big chance for a marquee non-conference win. So at this point, I still think this is a tournament team, but they're going to have to make some noise in the ACC. And I do think this is a team that's capable of being a 10 or 11 win, maybe in the ACC with the kind of depth that they have, especially up front in the front court. But they've got to rebound and finish up strong. They really cannot afford another loss prior to the ACC slate in January.
Norm, happy holidays to you and your kids and your family. I know my mom taught you at school. You're a great guy, and continued success for you and all the good people at the Daily Press and dailypress.com.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for letting me come on your show, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon. Happy holidays.
You sure will, Norm. Thank you so much. Norm Wood, a real gentleman right there from Daily Press, dailypress.com, enlightening us about UVA and Virginia Tech both. We're going to come back with our final business spotlight guest, Janelle Birchfield from the Virginia Stage Company on 1650 AM News Talk. This is Sports Scene on this December 11th, live right here on the radio. Stay tuned. Also listen to tunein.com and tell your friends.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet.
Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Attention gun enthusiasts, your complete store for guns is at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Tom and the staff will assist you with tactical guns, custom AR builds, and they handle service and repair. Battlefield Guns and Ammo has specials, and they buy, sell, trade, consign, and do FFL transfers, and always look out for the military and the police. Log on to BattlefieldGunshop.com and call 410-7720. Open Monday through Saturday, this is your store for guns, ammo, and accessories. Battlefield Guns and Ammo in Chesapeake.
Does your kitchen resemble the Industrial Revolution with steam billowing from stovetop pots and pans to humidify your home? Wintertime heating dryness can damage floors, furniture, create equipment-damaging static electricity, not to mention dry skin and high utility bills. Applied Mechanical has the solution with a humidification system tied to the thermostat, providing the right balance of moisture in your home. Professional installation, once-a-year service, literally set it and forget it. Call Applied Mechanical, 495-6676, 495-6676. Now back to Sports Scene on 1650 AM WHKT.
And also on TuneIn.com, Greg Picaberis. Don't forget at GJBTV, at Greg Pick. And, of course, right here, find WHKT on Facebook. Like them as well. Greg Picaberis right here. This is Sports Scene. Don't forget also sports highlights on NNPSTV.com. I want to thank as well Crown's Fried Chicken, Silver Eagle Coins, as well as One-on-One Care Salon right there in Western Branch at 483-8111. I want to thank all of our great guests today, Dr. Wood Seelig, Norm Wood. And now it's a pleasure to talk to Janelle Birchfield from the Virginia Stage Company in our Business Spotlight segment of the show. The Christmas Carol is going on all month long. How are you, Janelle?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good. Let's talk about the show going on this month and a little bit about the Wells Theater.
Yeah, well, the Wells Theater, we're actually celebrating our 100th birthday this year. The theater is 100 years old. It's located in downtown Norfolk, and the theater is just beautiful. And we do Christmas Carol every year, so we just opened this past weekend, and here we go. We're up and running. We have about 11 performances left through the 22nd.
And what can they do to get tickets?
You can visit our website. It's vastage.com. You can also call us at 627-1234, and our tickets start at just $10. So it's a great opportunity to bring the whole family and come out and enjoy our tradition.
Talking to Janelle Birchfield right here on 1650 AM News Talk. Don't forget TuneIn.com. Find us on Facebook and on Twitter as well. And you guys are on Facebook and Twitter too, right?
Yeah, we sure are.
Well, let's talk about what plays you got going on in the first quarter of the year.
In January, we have Honky Tonk Angels, which is a really fun, kind of like a country musical. It's going to be great. We're so excited about it. And that starts in previews on January 21st and opens the 24th. So it's a great way to kick off the new year. And then after that, we're doing a show called The Mountaintop, and it's about it's fictional, but it's about MLK's last day on Earth. So it's a drama, definitely, but the play is awesome. We're really excited to do it. And then after that, we have sort of a classic. A lot of people kind of know about it. It's sort of, like a love story, and it's Frankie and Johnny in the Claire de Lune. So it's a good season. That shows in April. So we run, after Christmas Carol, we'll run January through April for the rest of the season.
And don't forget, folks, we'll be giving away prize packs again next week on December 18th from 12 to 1 when Sports Scene continues right here on 1650 AM. And, of course, it's always fun to get the tickets. And like you mentioned, Christmas Carol is going on right now. And of course, it's a great family time, a lot to do down there in downtown Norfolk. And talk about the parking situation.
Yes, well, we definitely, there's always on-street parking, and then there's lots of garages nearby. So a lot of the garages around do some holiday parking, so they do specials to make it really accessible for everyone to join us. And 219, which is the restaurant right across the street from us, they actually do free valet parking if you enjoy dinner there before or after the show. So, yep, lots of places to park, and so you can come enjoy the show.
All right, go ahead and give us the website and the phone number once again.
vastage.com, and then the phone number is 757-627-1234.
And you said Christmas Carol's got 11 more performances, correct?
Yeah, we run through the 22nd. Friday through Sunday, we have weekend performances, including matinees. We have a Saturday matinee at 4 o'clock and Sunday at 2 o'clock. And then we also have a couple of weekday performances. We have performances tonight and next Wednesday at 8 o'clock and also next Thursday. So definitely still time to come and join us for the show. And like I said, tickets start at just $10. So yeah, it's a great show. I hope everyone can come see it.
Well, great job there on the radio. Give my best to Mr. Stava and Stacy Shaw, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
I sure will. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Janelle. All right, Janelle Birchfield right there from the Virginia Stage Company. Great quality of life. And Ken and I were talking about that before the show. We both grew up here. We both used to work together at other radio stations. This is not New York, Chicago, or L.A. A lot of tourists think that because we have the ocean front, this is a restaurant town. This is an event town. We have a few sporting teams, the Tides and the Admirals. But this is pretty much, get dinner, family, get ice cream, go to a comedy club, you enjoy the outdoors, all the great parks and recreation, the quality of life. But there's great things like the Wells Theater and the Virginia Opera that really add quality of life to everybody's life in Hampton Roads. We're really known for a lot of great shows and arts as well. Again, I want to thank our guests today, Dr. Wood Seelig, Norm Wood, Janelle Birchfield, last week's guests, Mick Mixon, Sonny Dirth, and Kim Cones. We'll be talking to Lefty Drizel next week, former Maryland basketball coach, live and exclusive right here on Sports Scene. For more, log on to gjbtv.com in the Marketplace sponsors page. CBS News coming up. Ken Johnson, take it away, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Great show as always. Thank you, Greg. And it's every Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. So don't forget to tune in for Sports Scene right here on K-Talk 1650. We've got a couple of bridge openings now scheduled. Berkeley Bridge scheduled for a 1 o'clock opening. And whoops, look, it's coming up on 1 o'clock. So I assume that'll be up shortly. We have a James River Bridge scheduled opening for 6:30 p.m. this evening. Right now, just took a look around. Don't see any backups or delays anywhere. Traffic's moving along pretty good right now up until the Berkeley Bridge opens and everything comes to a screeching halt at the downtown tunnel. Looking for sunny skies for the rest of the afternoon, 48 degrees for the high, mostly clear tonight, a low of 31. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds, gusty winds, and chilly temperatures, a high of only 35 degrees. Mostly sunny for Friday, a high of 48. Saturday, cloudy with rain, a high of 53. Sunday, cloudy, scattered showers, a high of 51. Sunshine for Monday with a high of 37. And sunny skies for next Tuesday with a high of 48 degrees. Chamber of Commerce with Governor-elect Terry McAuliffe coming up in the next hour with a special edition of the John Frederick Show coming up right after CBS News on AM 1650 WHKT Portsmouth. It's 1 p.m.